One of the greatest follies in 2018 was the cancellation of Daredevil, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, and of course followed up by The Punisher and Jessica Jones here in 2019. I know Netflix wants to make sure that they are in control of all the properties that are on their network. They want to make sure that they run everything and they're not going to be bogged down by extra contracts or negotiations. I mean, currently right now, Netflix is fighting to keep The Office on Netflix, considering that it is the most streamed show on the platform. They are always going to be trying to make sure they own everything that's on there. And in the process, certain things do become casualties of war. It's frustrating. It's annoying, and I don't like it. But with Disney moving into the Disney Plus franchise, going into streaming to compete with Netflix, as well as having 60% stake of Hulu, the question then becomes, will we ever see those particular shows be moved from Netflix over to the new services? Well, there was a clause that was brought up last year when this whole thing went down that suggested that there was a 2-year cool-off period. So we're thinking that we may not be able to see anything until, well, maybe 2020 or 2021. But according to this article in IndieWire, hoping for a Daredevil and Jessica Jones revivals is going to take longer than just 2 years, which is discouraging to say the very least. I'm not happy about that. Now it says here, Netflix broke the hearts of comic book fans when it pulled the plug on all of its Marvel superhero shows, including Daredevil, Jessica Jones, The Punisher, Luke Cage, Iron Fist. News broke last December that due to contractual reasons, Disney would not be able to revive these series until 2 years after their cancellation. But IndieWire learned that at the Avengers Endgame premiere that it's going to take much longer than 2 years until fans see Daredevil again in either film or in a series on the new platform for Disney Plus. We're not going to see it on Disney Plus. It's too violent to be on Disney Plus. It's a Hulu show. Be honest with that one, Variety. Be honest with that one, IndieWire, or whoever else. It's not going to go to Disney Plus. It's going to go to Hulu, 100%. But according to a production executive, Disney has been warned by lawyers to not even think about developing new content featuring the characters of Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, and The Punisher until the 2-year mark. The clarification is an important one, as it means Disney probably won't be able to spend time during the next 2 years working on material with these characters set to launch a new series in 2020. If Disney can't even begin developing a new Daredevil series until 2020, then it's going to take much longer than just 2 years for the characters to return to the big or small screen. Another option is Disney does not revive the superheroes at all. And I really think that's not going to happen. I know there are people out there that I've seen on YouTube. They're like, it's over, it's dead, it's done. Oh my God. I am going to hold out hope that Feige will bring these guys back home, that Feige will use these characters. I know the next 5 years with Phase 4, once we learn that at Comic-Con 2020 or Comic-Con in July, is going to be very interesting. How they plan on moving the new franchises, how they plan on utilizing Disney Plus, what their plans are is what we're going to learn in Hall H on the Saturday of Comic-Con. What we're going to learn is going to very much it kind of suggest whether or not these shows have a future, whether or not these characters have a future in some way or another. And I'm hoping that they bring them back. The likelihood of Luke Cage and Iron Fist coming back on their own shows, minimal. Even though Luke Cage season 2 was leagues better than season 1, same with Iron Fist respectively, the shows are probably going to be combined into, well, Heroes for Hire. When Daredevil was canceled and the Save Daredevil campaign started, Charlie Cox was very supportive of it. So much so that it felt like he knew something we didn't, which, to be fair, they probably do. I would argue that Charlie Cox and the cast of Daredevil and Jessica Jones and the other shows are fully aware that there might be a revival down the road. However, Deborah Ann Wool, who played Karen Page, just said in an interview yesterday that she doesn't believe the shows will be revived at all. And that could mean either that the shows die or that they eventually go to being just a movie over on Disney or on Hulu or in the theaters. I think that if they were to do it, they probably would do Jessica Jones. They probably won't do the Defenders. I'm sorry, they would do Daredevil. They wouldn't do Jessica Jones. And they might reboot it by casting new people, but I think there would be such an enormous backlash if it's within a couple years that ultimately could lead us to really getting more of these characters. But there is a little caveat to this that the article doesn't mention. And they said 2 years. It says 2 years from the cancellation, but the clause itself ultimately is from 2 years from the point of publishing, right? The point of just, if I recall, it's from the point of release. At least that's what I heard a while back. It could be wrong, but if that's the case, They may not be able to develop individual shows, but they might be able to develop the Defenders. Considering the fact that August of this year will mark 2 years since the Defenders came out, it's entirely possible that now that those characters are off the market and that show has hit its 2-year mark and it was never officially canceled or officially renewed, oftentimes argued as just being a one and done scenario, then they could develop another Defender series with these characters and run those seasons until it hits the time in order for them to bring about their next shows. That is entirely a possibility, and one that I do hope is a reality. I know I'm probably very much thinking about this from the perspective of a hopeful fanboy, and I have no problem admitting that. I have no problem sitting there going like, yeah, no, I really would like that. I would love to see this be a reality. I would love to see this being a thing, but there's a lot that's going to happen in the next couple of years that are really going to make all of this go by a lot quicker. So the wait won't be as bad as we think, but what I would just love is some nod, a wink, a smile, a glint of hope that we will see these characters again. Because I don't know about you, I'm sure as hell not ready to let go yet. But anyway, I'm curious to know your thoughts, your opinions. Let me know down in the comments below. I'll talk to you guys later. Have yourself a great day, and peace out.